What's up, everybody? Wade on Wheels, and today I have a paintball gear comparison review today between the Die Rotor R2 hopper and the Virtue Spire IV. So the Die R2 rotor you have at about $220, and the Virtue Spire you have at about $300. So what do you get for your $80 difference? We're going to go in an in-depth review of both of these hoppers and find out which one's best for you, which one I personally run. Well, spoiler, I run both of them because I have two separate guns. So one's a backup, one's a primary. I was using the Die R2 as my primary, but I just recently picked up the Virtue. I have not got to use it yet, so I'm looking forward to using it. Let's just get into it. Let's start with the Die because you'll understand why. So first things first, speed feed. The speed feed does pop up, so that is nice. The Die has an extra 60 paintballs, so it has an expander. You kind of move it up and expand like so. And something about the Die you have to be firm with. You don't jam it, don't smack it, don't force anything in, but you do have to be firm with it. You gotta kind of use your body. You're saving $80. So let's be real. But you have the extra 60 paintballs in here. Close that. Boom. Back to the regular size. The thing I really like about the Die is you have the shark fin. It actually comes in handy. You'll find once you're kind of out of paint, there's always stragglers, and it's nice to be able to just kind of pull that shark fin, and that typically clears everything right in. So let's open it up and let's go through like how would you change the batteries. Well, before we get into batteries, let's just do on and off. So your on switch, it uses beeps in order to let you know when your paint level is. So as you'll hear, it'll start beeping. That's low paint. So let's tear it apart and let's basically how you would change the batteries, how you would clean this one out. So let's get into it. So you move it over to your unlock position. You're going to open it and it's gonna just kind of pop off. So there's a little clip up front that it's going to pop off of this clip. So once you have that off, this end, just kind of set it aside. You can clean it, nothing special about it. When you're going to take the middle shell off, this is the one thing. If you can clean this out and you can be done with it. If you needed to change the batteries, you can't really take out any of the internal components unless you take this shell off. How you take that shell off is there's two little pins here. You pull those pins back. 1, 2. Underneath here, there's a tab you're going to pull up. Right here, there's a tab you pull up. And then there's two pins you push back, push back. This way is the easiest, towards you, up. And then you kind of push it, pull it back, and it comes right off. There you go. That exposes your entire motor. So in your motor, you have the top piece. Your top piece, your feeder, if you will, the tray, and your gear. And then that's your access to your batteries. You can take that entire motor out, but there's definitely a few more screws. You got to take the batteries out. We're not going into that. Then there you go. That's all your pieces. So we'll put it back together, and then we'll take apart the Virtue. So reverse is just put your gear back in. Make sure you don't jam your gears in. Just, you know, they're plastic. So your gear goes in. Your tray goes on top. Your arm, and your top piece, and your cover. Reverse. The little front slides in here. You want to slide that in. And you just kind of slide this down. Make sure the sides all seat. This one looks like it's seated pretty well. There we go. Now seat the back of it. That's what I mean. You got to be firm but gentle. So you kind of got to manipulate it a little bit, make sure everything seats properly. And once it is seated, you push that this little locking mechanism back here. You just kind of, right here, you just kind of push it down and it locks it up. So, I don't know if you can see that. Hopefully you can. And then you just take your top, put your top on. Pull your locker, the slide lock, and you just kind of got to work it in there. Get that part in there, get that part in there. There you go. Then I always move it back to the 260 ball, pull it up. Once, if it extends and it doesn't just fall apart, you did it correctly. Then you can move it back down, put it back into place. Oh, come on. So you move it back down, put it back into place, you're good to go. There's your die R2 hopper. So, moving on to our Virtue Spire. Same thing, speed feed, but you cannot pull this off. Like, see how easy this one comes off? But it's a speed feed, so it's not like you need to open this. So, there you go. See, that does not come off easy. Once you install it, it's kind of in there. It's not fun to take off. But there is no need to take it off, because I'll show you. First things first, how you turn it on, it's this button here. So this button here, you hit that button. It uses flashing lights, as you can see, as indicators when low paint. So to open it, you press this button in, clamshell opens. You have the entire clamshell. You can pop this off. There's your little rotor. There's a switch back here. You pull this switch up and boom, the entire motor pops out, the entire motor in the tray. There's your batteries. Here's your empty case. So you can completely clean that case out. All done. That's one whole unit. And then here's your motor. So change your batteries. You can clean out your tray. That's all she wrote right there. So where does your $80 come from? Why is this one $300 and that one's $220? It's right here. It's how simple the design is to open and close it. I mean, putting it back together is just throwing that in there, clip, boom, boom, she's done. So if I were on the field and I had a malfunction and I needed to take my hopper apart, this is the hopper that you would go with, hands down. Because if you have this hopper and something internally goes wrong and you gotta open it up, you might as well just call yourself out. You know, call yourself out or take your hopper off and do one ball. But that's really the only advantage that this hopper has over, that the Spire has over the die. Other than being a little lighter, it is a little bit lighter. That's basically what you get between these two hoppers. The internals. The internal and how easy it is just to clean one over the other. Performance-wise, we'll go through that. I have two pods that I'm going to run a pod through each one. We're going to dump it in, kind of plug up the bottom, let it spin, let it stop spinning and actually register that there's a full pod, and then we're going to let it eat. So we're going to see which one does it best. They both have feed ramps that, you know, spring-loaded feed ramps that they kind of open and allow paintballs to move in. We'll see how effective each one is. I haven't actually done this one before, so let's see what happens. Okay, we are going to start with the Virtue Spire. Like I said, I'm going to plug up the bottom. I'm going to turn it. Oh, almost lost one. And I did lose one. I say I almost lost one, and I literally lose it. Should I get that one? Yeah, we'll get one more paintball. All right, all the paintballs. We got all the paintballs. So you can hear we're full-ish. Turn it on. Boom. I can feel the pressure of the paintball in my finger. So, as you can see, the indicator lights are blue. Now I'm just going to kind of let it rip. So, If it's been shot, it would be like bam. Okay, so this is done. I'm going to give it like a shake. 1 or 2. I think that's it. Turn it off. That's it. Okay. So once it was done spitting, it left 1 or 2 paintballs in there. That's not bad at all. So moving on to the die. So the die, we're going to turn it around. Same thing. Get a new pod. New fresh pod. Pop her open. Full pod, holding the bottom, turn it on. Ooh, that one's got way more pressure. So you see, light's green, or light is blue. Gotta let it rip. Wow. Alright, so it's done. Gonna give it a shake. About 1 or 2. Oh, 1 more. Okay. So as you can see, the die left 1 more paintball in there. It had to be shook 1 or 2 more times. But man, did it eject paintballs quicker. Like you saw, this hopper ejected paintballs way faster than the Virtue Spire. I don't know if one has a higher feed rate than the other. I can't imagine it's any slower than your paintball can shoot. But I know my Geo can shoot up to 26 paintballs a second. I mean, I've shot that and your hopper's gone in like under 10 seconds. It's pretty wild. At least I know this hopper keeps up. This is what I've shot that. I have not tried this one. But there was a noticeable difference between how fast the die fed. The die fed much, much faster from what I saw. I don't know if that translated perfectly in the video, but I definitely know in person the die fed faster. So let's kind of recap. We have higher price for the Virtue Spire. $80 less. You get what you get with your 80 bucks. Easier to clean. I don't know if you can say it's a lower profile. I don't know if it's any thicker or thinner. You know? So basically it's ease of clean. Ease of cleanliness and just the simplicity of taking it apart. That's where your $80 goes. But as far as performance and capability and capacity, the die wins. Definitely wins. But I will keep playing with both of them. Like I said, I own both of these hoppers. I have 2 guns that I need 2 hoppers for. You should always have a backup. And as far as the price goes, $300 versus $220, you can go a cheaper route, but these are 2 of the best hoppers out there, so you can't go wrong with either one. $300 and $220, that is a lot of money, but as long as you take care of these things and you don't beat the hell out of them, they will last you. You know, they're built very good quality, so either one of these hoppers are going to last you a long time. Keep changing the batteries. They both take AAA, so you're good there. There's no differences there, but it's basically, do you like audio and have to do a little bit of work when you clean? Or do you need fast cleaning and got little lights? Let me know which one you like. Comment, like, subscribe. Make sure you give me the thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. Peace out.